If you need any Xbox or PlayStation codes or anything gaming related, check the referral links down in the description. They'll take you to g2a.com. They already have a discount on most of their goods already, and with the code CHES at checkout, you can get yourself an extra 3% off as well.
Hey guys, how's it going? Chez back again and welcome to episode number 110 of the Career Mode Road to Glory here on FIFA 15. We start with a game away from home against Manchester City. It's the opening game of the Barclays Premier League season, but stick around because there is so much transfer action in today's episode. It's actually ridiculous. Obviously, we're on the rundown towards transfer deadline day today and hoping to get in plenty of new players if we possibly can to fill in the squad now that we've decided to move on a couple of our key players to bring in replacements to make room for the growth of the youngsters that we're able to bring in thanks to the prize money we got last year to spend on some really good youth scouts. So fingers crossed we can have a decent start to the season on and off the pitch. Obviously we had a fairly good pre-season, getting a couple of very good results. We had to rely on Pedro Galese there, whose place in the squad is under threat. Looking like he's going to be moving on. A transfer imminent for him, perhaps, if we can find someone that's willing to buy him. But he made a good save there. Of course, if you remember, we played Manchester City on the last day of last season. And unfortunately, I think we came away with a defeat. I actually can't remember. It was last week, wasn't it? But hoping to get a decent result here at the Etihad. Although, as you can see, it's been very heavily Manchester City based so far in the first half. Although we were going to get a chance in stoppage time. Unfortunately, though, not able to take it. Kevin Schmidt having to come into the first team lineup for the currently still injured Georgiev. He's our number one striker right now, but of course unfortunately out for 4 weeks with a hyperextended knee that he picked up in pre-season. Stevan Jovetic was having so many chances in this game. It was crazy. I just could not get near the man. He was so good. Fortunately, his finishing was kind of off point and we were able to just weather the storm for the majority of it. On the hour mark here, Fabian Caseda gets the better of the defender. The space opens up for him. Tried to settle myself before taking the shot, but Mangala almost got there before Casada put it into the back of the net. Really good finish, celebrating over in front of the Cambridge United fans. We are 1-0 up at the Etihad. City, though, we're going to come back at me. It's Jay Rodriguez there, not Hammers or any other Rodriguez. Actually, Jay Rodriguez, formerly of Southampton, of course. And then, fortunately, the defender got in the way there. Otherwise, that would definitely have been 1-1 had the striker been able to get on the end of that header. But we get a shock result on the opening day, a 1-0 win away from home at the Etihad. Delighted with that. So it's back to the transfer window, trying to bring in some new players. We're looking to bring in a striker. We're looking to bring in a winger, we're looking to bring in a goalkeeper, and we're waiting to see if anything else can happen that perhaps is something that we're not expecting. We are looking to finalise this deal for Andy Kellett as well to bring in a new left back. So many places we're trying to improve. We obviously had to spend the majority of the window to this point trying to sell players to raise the extra funds we needed. Looking like we might be able to get a decent deal here for Pedro Galese if Stuttgart are willing to pay the £4 million I asked, and in fact they are willing to pay the £4 million that I asked. Now obviously when it comes to bringing in a striker, we're looking at Roger here as well from Levante, 72 rated overall, 27 years of age, could grow a little bit more and obviously would be the best striker at the club should he come in, so we'll try and sort out a contract deal for him. We'll have to keep our eyes on that deal throughout the majority of the window. We're looking to Costel Pantilimon to be the replacement for Galese. Now obviously we did previously have a deal lined up for Pantilimon, but then the player that was used as make weight in this deal actually got sold in a different deal as well, so we had to renegotiate the deal for Pantilimon, so still working that through. We are, however, though, confirming the deal for Andy Kellett. We have a new left back. He's rated 3 higher than our current left back, Ivan Santillan, so hopefully he'll be able to force his way into the first team with some good performances. And fingers crossed, we can get this deal sorted for Costel Pantilimon. But Pedro Galese has moved on to Stuttgart in Germany for £4 million, 3.4 million of which will go into our transfer budget to help us try and replace him and improve the squad elsewhere. Still looking for a striker. Obviously, we're having the contract offer for Roger being negotiated at the minute. Looking at Lolo Pia as well from, I think he's from Lugo in the Segunda Division in Spain. I'm not entirely too sure. Also thinking about moving on Michael O'Halloran or Christian Pania. We're looking at both players perhaps moving on, but right now a straight up deal for Michael O'Halloran has come in and we are looking to perhaps use Christian Pania as make weight in a separate deal, which would leave us open to needing a new wide player as well as all of the other various positions we're looking at. Unfortunately, Leeds didn't offer the 800k that I asked for, but they did come back with 725, which is 100k more than Michael O'Halloran's value is. So more than happy to accept that, and that's effectively the Andy Kellett deal paid for straight away with that particular transfer there. We are looking for a striker though, and of course we're looking to sort out a contract deal with Roger. Also looking at Teleko Ranti here from Bournemouth. He's absolutely rapid and has great finishing, and is in the final year of his contract, so could be available for a little bit cheaper than perhaps we would be able to pick him up had he got a long-term deal already negotiated with Bournemouth. Unfortunately, the transfer for Pantilimon fell through. Their board just decided, obviously we had extended talks with them because we negotiated the deal and then had to renegotiate, and they just weren't interested. They said, no, you've had enough tries, you're not having him, try again in the next window. So I can't try again in the next window, I need a goalkeeper now. So we're going after Kieran Westwood there. Obviously, to reiterate, we are only going to need this new goalkeeper for one season. We're hoping that the youngster we've got with the potential of 78 to 92 will actually improve enough at the end of this year for him to become the first team goalkeeper next year and then continue to grow from that point forward. So unfortunately for this game we're having to play Stuart Atkinson, who's 59 rated, I think. Actually may have grown into the low 60s by now. We do have a better goalkeeper, but he's out on loan, Andrew Mawat, and he grew quite nicely last year out on loan, so I'm hoping he does the same this year as well. We do look like we might have a couple of very good goalkeepers on our hands by the time we get all of our youngsters through the scout system and get them with the first experience, get their ratings up with the first team experience they can get from their loan spells. But Atkinson actually was doing very well in the opening stages here. Stoke obviously going to have a lot of the pressure, as you might expect in the first half, and then being at home, same way that Manchester City did. We were able to weather the storm though, and it was actually Gruezo, one of our new signings this season, plays in Casada, across to Aquadar. Thought about playing it across to Jenkins Chikawi, but actually their defender tracked back very well indeed. Space opened up for the shot for the central midfielder Aguadar, but unfortunately I couldn't find the back of the net, and they were still going to have one more chance before the end of this first half. Skapitis, I think his name is, plays a 1-2 with Marko Nautovic, stands it up, it is Skapitis, heads the ball into the back of the net to make it 1-0 Stoke, but unfortunately for him, he was the wrong side of the defensive line. You can see what he thinks of the decision, and the linesman is just staring blankly out across the pitch, but you can see from the replay he was definitely offside. Good decision, Mr. Linesman. Thank you for helping us avoid going behind in the first half. And in the second half, we actually started the brighter. As you can see, Kevin Schmidt is still in the starting lineup for the injured Georgiev, although Georgiev is on the bench for this game and will be coming onto the pitch a little bit later on. So I was hoping Schmidt could actually put in a decent performance, and then maybe he can force his way into the first team. We'll actually end up dropping Casada instead. But Paul Downing gives us the 1-0 lead. Schmidt drew the corner in the first place with a good save from Begovic, and we capitalised on the set piece to make it 1-0 Cambridge United away from home for the second game in a row. They were though going to get the equaliser here. Unfortunately the first shot was well blocked by Hector Bellerin, but it dropped beautifully for Arnautovic to just waltz onto, smash it into the back of the net, and after 70 minutes it's 1-1 again. And here comes the return of Strahil Georgiev. We are back to our full starting front line, Casada and although actually I think, did I take Casada off and leave Schmidt on? I think I might have done. I did. Here is Kevin Schmidt. I actually took Casada off. Kevin Schmidt turns inside the defender onto his favoured left foot, actually uses his right foot there to slot it underneath the goalkeeper. We get a late winner in the 90th minute. He decides to slide into the post to celebrate. Cambridge United 2, Stoke City 1. 6 points from our opening 2 games in the Barclays Premier League. Brilliant stuff. That's all of the gameplay for today's episode, but you can tell from the length of the video, so much transfer action still to come. Trying to get these deals finalised for Teleko Ranti as well, if we possibly can, as Kieran Westwood. Kieran Westwood obviously currently at Sheffield Wednesday. Used to be at Sunderland though. I know a lot of you will be very familiar with him, and of course he is Ireland's #1 goalkeeper right now, I think. I might be wrong, but I know he's definitely playing quite regularly for the international side. So we'll have to wait and see if we can get that contract offer accepted from him, and we'll have to wait and see if Teleko Ranti will accept this contract offer from us as well. We've had both the actual bids accepted now, so it's a case of just fine-tuning the personal details, and Kieran Westwood is coming into the club. So we've replaced our 72 rated goalkeeper with a 74 rated goalkeeper for less money. Superb, brilliant, couldn't be happier. Still stalling with the Roger deal because we want to make sure that if we're going to get one of the two strikers in, I want Takalo Ranti over Roger, to be completely honest. He's faster, he's better at finishing, he's got better dribbling. Obviously trying to make sure that we don't accidentally sell Paneer to someone else because he's involved in this deal. And after bringing in Kieran Westwood, Takalo Ranti joins us as well. We're going to stall currently on Roger because I'm not sure what's going to happen between now and transfer deadline day. We still might have chance to bring in a new player or two, but obviously now with O'Halloran going to Leeds and Christian Paneer being used in the Ranti deal, that means that we are needing a new wide player. Ander Kappa has been on my radar for a while, but he's got great pace, decent dribbling, decent crossing, etc. He's only 71 rated though, and I was thinking to myself, am I just buying this guy for the sake of buying someone? Is there someone else out there that I could try and get a little bit cheaper perhaps that would be better suited or at least just as good in the first team as Ander Kappa would? We're looking at Lucas Vazquez from Real Madrid as well. And then I thought to myself, well, who have we had previously that has been good for us? Jordan Graham was on loan in the second season from Aston Villa, and he was superb for us out wide. I really enjoyed playing with him, so we'll go in for a loan bid for him. And that got me thinking again, what other Aston Villa players had we had that, I cast my mind back thinking about Jack Grealish that we had on loan in the first season. We had the offer accepted for Jordan Graham, but I wanted to wait because I wanted to make sure that Jack Grealish wasn't going to be accepted for loan. In fact, he wasn't, but I thought, well, why not just have a cheeky bid for him if we can get him in permanently? And to my surprise, they accepted the £2 million bid for him just straight off the bat. Thrilled with that. Will he accept the 25 grand a week contract? Yes, he will. 22-year-old Jack Grealish, one of the best prospects in English football, is signing for Cambridge United. Unfortunately, I don't have the funds to bring in Jordan Graham as well. But if you were to choose one between Jordan Graham and Jack Grealish, you'd go for Jack Grealish every time. And we do reject the offer for Ander Kappa as well. Obviously, we don't have the funds. And Jack Grealish is twice the player Ander Kappa is. 22 years of age. And actually, I think he's 74 rated. So why Aston Villa let him go for so cheap, I have absolutely no idea, because he is going to be an integral part of our first team squad over the next 2 or 3 seasons in this series as we run down towards FIFA 16, trying to get Cambridge United into Europe before we see the end of this series if we possibly can. You can see on screen all of the various different sides and the business they've done so far this season. Feel free to pause it at any point to see any particular team in more detail that you want to. The biggest deal of the window to date, and in total, considering there's only an hour left, is Kana Bilic from Stade Rennais to Liverpool for £32.5 million. Benteke has gone to Tottenham from Roma for £21 million after going to Roma from Aston Villa earlier on in the series. But here is how things stand in the league table after 2 games. Although, key to remember, we had a start like this last year and it all fell apart towards the end of the season, and we unfortunately found ourselves finishing 10th. However, we've drastically improved the squad in this pre-season. We've spent £10 million on, I think, 8 new players for the squad. We've sold on about 7 players, I think, may even be 8 as well, for about £6 million. So we've only actually had a net loss of £4 million. We had a transfer budget of 8. We've spent 10 and made 6. So I think this is one of the best transfer windows we've ever had in this series and in any series. I think the sheer advancement of the squad overall in every position has been fantastic in this window, and I am super hyped to get going with all of our new players in this second Barclays Premier League season. Hopefully you guys are as well. Drop the video a like if you enjoy. Of course, it really does help the channel out when you drop likes on the videos, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Of course, we hit 60k at the weekend, and I'm recording the Q&A for next weekend, so hopefully we'll be able to get that video out for you sooner rather than later. But for now, thank you very much for watching. I won't be streaming tonight because Chelsea are on TV, but I will be streaming again tomorrow, so check all the links in the description and I will see you next time.